Let me ask you about improv, because I think of you as an improviser because that's where I met you, and we spent a lot of time at IO together. What's your relationship right now with improv? I feel like when you and me were in it at the height, it was very much must do, must be, must always be doing shows and stuff. Where are you at with improv right now?
I'm not.
You're like, done with it, over it, or you just haven't had time? Or?
I did so much improv, right? I started doing improv in Sweden, and I was like, oh, I like this and I'm good at it. So this is what I want to do. Okay, I'm going to go to LA. Okay, I did classes at UCB. I did classes at iOS. I did classes at Second City. I got on I got a Herald at iOS. I got on Mess Hall at UCB. I was on a house team on Second City, and then COVID hit, right? And so it was like...
Oh, you were on all of that at the same time before COVID?
No, so...
Oh, some of those... Okay,
I was on Herald Night at iOS until it closed.
Right.
And then once that closed, I got on Mess Hall at UCB.
Right.
And then once that run was over, I got on a house team at Second City.
Okay.
Or I might have done UCB and Second City a little bit at the same time. But anyway, and then my team got cut at Second City like right before COVID hit.
I see.
And so I kind of stopped doing improv right before, just because I was like, I don't really know what I'm doing. I mean, I did indie shows and stuff like that, but nothing on a house team, and I wasn't going to audition for Herald that year, whatever. COVID hit, and I was like, I don't want to do online improv. Like that wasn't just appealing to me. And since it's been back, I just haven't had the drive to do it. But it's been so helpful. I mean, when I was on The Verge, they let us do improv on set. Like they let us improvise stuff.
Yeah.
And that confidence that, okay, you can do it, that really helps. So I don't think I'll never do it again. I just need to find where. Because like on my first day of On The Verge, my first scene I shot, so nervous, right? So nervous. And then I improvised a line and they liked it. And they're like, oh, good. And I was like, oh, I can do this, right? Like, and it's like, if you mess up, like we said, it's okay. And improv really helps with like, if you mess up, just keep going.
Yeah.
So right now, I don't have like a very close relationship with improv, but I do miss good improv.
Yeah, I think we got into a weird time. Like we got into it at its height, kind of.
Yeah.
Or I guess I did. Maybe you didn't.
Yeah.
But you were doing it in Sweden, which is the purest improv in Sweden. I think we got into it at its height. Well, like kind of what I'm talking about, this production thing. Like we just felt like we had to take every class, had to be on 7 practice teams, had to do this to get onto a stage, and it was just like it was such a weird manufactured time where it was so saturated and for such little return, and it needed that kind of reset. And I feel like now that that COVID reset happened, a lot of people are like, it was good training, but it wasn't life or death. Like a lot of people treated it. At the time.
But we do have a lot of friends who are still.
Yeah, but I have just as many, if not more, that have completely stepped away from it and just let it go.
I got such joy from improv. Like
I did too.
I had grew up in Sweden. You know, my dad's American, my mom's Swedish. I kind of had a different sense of humor than a lot of people. I mean, my family had a different sense of humor.
Yeah, a bad one.
Yeah.
There was dead silence on the mic for like 5 minutes.
No, and so when I found improv, I found like a place, and I found friends who wanted the same thing.
Yeah,
and it was a very community. And then coming to LA, I
bastardized
did
it.
so. I would go to an improv show 7 nights a week, probably. Yeah. I would be at an improv theater 7 nights a week. There was one week where I saw 22 shows.
Yeah, in
1 week, but I got so much joy out of it.
Oh, then yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I thought you meant just to like be seen and
no. I mean, I learned so much from improv.
Did you say learned?
I learned.
I heard learned.
What I might have said learned.
It's funny.
I learned.
Yeah, like I said, I think it was just such a weird time, and I think like improv's great, but it shouldn't be everything, and I think the competitive aspect of it made it such like and it was just set up to fail. I think the way they were running auditions and stuff. It's like, why do we take classes, multiple classes that are multiple weeks long, so that we can come to one audition a year?
Yeah.
With people we've never performed for, and have that be the deciding. Like that makes zero fucking sense. Yeah. And it's like, talk to the teachers. Did he get better every week? Was he working good with everybody? Was she...
I guess that's why they tried to have a committee, right? With multiple people.
Yeah, but they still do one audition. It's very strict. But anyways, I'm saying like the whole idea of improv became such a weird cutthroat thing where you had to be seen, and it just like really ruined it for a lot of people. I think
I don't like how people I didn't like the times when I felt like talking about worth came from if I got on the team or not.
Yeah.
Which there were times where I was like, if I don't get on this team,
100%.
am I funny? You know, and it's like, yes, I am still funny, even though I didn't find the game in this one show that I did.
Yeah.
So I didn't like that part of it either. I loved the community of it. I loved my friends doing it. I loved how I felt when I had a really good show, or even when I had a bad show. I liked how I felt when I was on stage. But I do think it's like a stepping stone. Like I think it's. It
should be treated that way.
Yeah. I think it's. You know, you can use improv in all aspects of your life, right?
Yeah.
Like not just in performing, but in just like your normal day life stuff that I have learned. Now I'm not gonna be able to say that word anymore.
It's fine as they learned. It just threw me off a little bit.
What's the okay, anyway. But I don't see I'm never gonna go back to how I used to do improv.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I don't even think there's a place for that anymore. But I do miss how I felt doing it. I just don't miss how crappy I felt if I didn't do well.
In a show?
In an audition or like in a getting on Herald and stuff like that.
Again, that's what's so stupid about those auditions though. Like to me, it was such a conflict of interest at the top, right? They would charge us for classes, so they were incentivized to have us in as many classes as possible.
Yeah.
So everybody got through all the classes, and it's like, okay, and then they do one audition, but it's like, no, push people into different classes, different tracks where it's like good, bad, medium, or whatever, good, bad, medium, and then like filter people through that rather than one audition that everybody's like stressed about, and it just like makes this artificial intelligence competition that is not good for anybody when we're competing like that. I never even got it like a UCB callback, and apparently that was a fucking shit show of everyone trying to fight for stage time. And it's like, how is this good for anybody?
I just heard you talk about this on your podcast on the way here.
No way, really?
Herald auditions.
Oh, funny. Was I similar thought?
Well, you were just talking about how flawed. I didn't hear. You were talking about how flawed it was, right?
It's very flawed.
But I agree, and I don't know what the answer is, right? And I
don't think there's an answer. I'm just saying I think improv had a huge reset. And
yes.
I think what you did it for, that joy, and what I did it for, just like the immediate audience reaction was what it should have always been.
Yeah.
And we just got in at a time when it was just so popular and so competitive for no reason.
Yeah. Well, I also think it became a thing where it's like, if you get on stage at this theater, you'll be seen and you'll be an actor and you'll get cast.
Which was
and
such
stuff.
bullshit.
And it's like, this is the best way to get cast and stuff. No, there's not. There's plenty of ways to do it.
So many people don't get cast from any of those.
And like, when you put something like UCB or iOS, whatever, on your resume, because when we did commercials, they're like, we like to have people who do improv come in, even though they can't say that. That's what they wanted. But people would put UCB if they did one class.
100%, yeah.
And so,
people put it if they didn't even
I know.
Take them.
And so
it was such a fucking money making. It was such a bad business model.
And people didn't know the difference, right? People didn't know the difference. Like if you're casting, it's like, you don't know. Okay, I went through improv. I was on mess, all this stuff.
They don't know.
They're not going to know what that means.
They also don't care if you're doing 12 indie shows at the clubhouse a week.
No.
For 3 people.
But they do care if you come in and you can make something work.
Yeah. But if you go and have joy and do a show at the clubhouse for 3 people and you get something out of it.
That was one of my best shows.
That's the purest thing that I'm into. And I kind of, where I'm going with this, you and me should do an improv team. But I would like to go up and get that. I do miss that immediate satisfaction.
Yeah. I miss it. I don't know if I don't know if I would get the same joy out of it now.
Yeah, maybe not. Or maybe you're far enough away that you would.
Maybe.